And then there were two. 155 of the 157 people who have spent the past 14 days in quarantine at Whangaparāoa were finally given the green light to go home today. But two were left behind in a camper van after one displayed symptoms of coronavirus. Those two remaining people could still be there when 8 people from the Diamond Princess cruise ship, who will arrive in New Zealand via Darwin tomorrow night, arrive at the camp. It comes amid revelations today that 16 New Zealanders on board Holland America's MS Westerdam were allowed to disembark the ship in Cambodia at the weekend, just hours after an elderly passenger tested positive for COVID-19. Those passengers, including a family of 5, were allowed to fly home to New Zealand, where they have now placed themselves in self-isolation for 14 days. We'll have more on them in a moment, but first, Nita Blake-Persen and cameraman Nick Monro report from Whangaparāoa, where some families have been reunited after many months apart.
Amy, Tanya.
Happy, healthy and finally reunited.
Yeah, I feel very good. I really want to cry now. Haven't seen them for over a month, especially in this kind of situation. Yeah, very happy to see them again.
Tony's wife Candy and their 3 kids had been back in her hometown of Wuhan when the coronavirus outbreak began. Your baby's growing a lot?
Oh, yeah, especially my small one. It's quite much heavier than before already.
It was an excited wait for the family to be released from the Whangaparāoa naval base where they've been quarantined for the past 14 days.
We were playing games, card games, and also other games.
And is it really nice to see your dad again?
Yes.
Did you miss him?
Yes.
Another dad, William, was among the dozens of families parked up outside the military facility this morning, waiting to be reunited with his loved ones.
My son and my wife was in there. I haven't seen them for 5 months, but now I'm so excited to see them. In the last couple of weeks, I heard they got all the support from there and everything. The people are so nice. I'm so impressed.
Buses carrying the first evacuees to be released left the naval base shortly after midday. Around 59 foreign nationals were taken to Auckland Airport, most of them returning to Pacific nations, but some destined for long journeys back to the UK, the Netherlands, and one person who was from Uzbekistan. The remaining people were slowly released over the next couple of hours, but Director General of Health Dr Ashley Bloomfield says one person is staying behind.
At the final check that everybody received, there was one person who was displaying mild symptoms. That person and the person they have been sharing a camper van with are still there, and that person who had the mild symptoms has been tested for the coronavirus, and we will have the results later today. We're not expecting these to be positive. As I've said before, we've had a very low bar for testing, and the purpose of these final assessments and checks was to pick up any symptoms and to take a very precautionary approach to testing if anyone had symptoms.
Auckland woman Julie was eagerly anticipating seeing her husband after 6 weeks apart, but wasn't impressed with the conditions of his stay in isolation.
The people in the camp have been great. The rules set in place need to be relooked at. They're not, don't treat them like prisoners. There's a lot that they need to learn from this whole experience.
As the final evacuees clear out from the military base, it will only be empty for a small amount of time. 8 more people will be arriving here tomorrow, having been evacuated from the Diamond Princess, and they will begin their 2-week quarantine period then. But as Candy Wong leaves today, she says she'll look back at her time in Whangaparāoa with only positive memories and even some new friends.
We already live with the phone number, and we're gonna keep touch we're gonna help each other. It's such unforgettable experience for my life.
For Checkpoint, Nita Blake-Persen.